Big Brother Biden is going after Elon Musk, the Democrat boss over at the Federal Trade Commission, demanding Twitter identify all journalists who had access to those explosive Twitter files that exposed social media censorship, as well as getting their grubby little hands on internal communications related to Musk as they probe his takeover of the company. They also want to know why former Comey lackey, James Baker, got fired from the social media giant. The billionaire calls it a shameful case of weaponization. And the left-wing journalist who posted the first batch of Twitter files calls it an insane overreach. So, Dana, who knew the FTC was even doing anything these days? They were asleep at the wheel for Mini Madoff after all that money went missing. But they're going after Elon.
They'll do anything to help protect the left. And that's one of the concerns when Lina Khan got the nod or the confirmation to be over at the FTC. One of the things that happens here is, first of all, the FTC why is it any of your business what Elon Musk, who owns his company, it's now a private company, what he does with his company? That's literally none of their business.
What are they alleging?
Well, I don't know. I think that they want to know, they probably are figuring out, why am I defending her? For people whose emails were released maybe without their consent, right? And so there was a breach of trust there, and was that against the rules of the FTC? Yep. But remember that Republicans can often say mean things about people in the media, okay? But the left will often use the government against the media. Where did we see that? During the Barack Obama administration, if you recall, some reporters got their phones tapped and things like that. The left will always go after the media from that side of things when Republicans get mad because they just want fairness. We just want to be fair.
Should the Republicans not be so fair and then next time they get in charge, weaponize the government against the left, Judge Janine?
I don't think they should weaponize the government against the left. I think they should prosecute the criminals in government who are violating the law. And the reason the FTC is involved is allegedly they say that we are protecting consumers, you know, from other people coming in, like the Twitter files, and finding out who said what at what time. And so basically, they're saying protecting consumers is what the FTC does. Now, this Lina Khan that Dana talked about is someone who who's gotten low marks, apparently historically low marks by people in the FTC for honesty and integrity. She overrides staff recommendations. She doubles down on losing legal strategies that earn her one courtroom rebuke after another. So, you know, I don't know why she was chosen. I'm not even going to go there. Here's the bottom line. Twitter is a private company. The FTC wants to know why James Baker was fired. Why? Because he was with the FBI? You want to keep the FBI in there so they can call and make sure that you monitor what's going on? And the other thing is, the other excuse they're using is they're saying, look, there was a consent decree before Elon Musk even bought Twitter, and we got to make sure that you know, the company has the ability to comply with the $150 million settlement. So Musk says, what are you talking about? They were going bankrupt. Now I've got the company and I'm taking it green again. But this is classic left ideology. Go after them, trash the First Amendment. It doesn't matter. And it's shocking and embarrassing to anyone who's a First Amendment attorney that they dare do this.
Shouldn't the Biden administration kiss the ground Elon walks on because of all he's doing with green tech?
Well, I don't know about that, but I as a journalist for over half a century, can say with definitively that government and journalism are different. There should be a wall between the two. Don't come looking for the reporter's name. That's the laziest way to investigate anything. You know, you just got to let. You know, Matt Taibbi is absolutely correct. Why did they need this information? What exactly is the goal of this probe? You know, really, what's the end result of this? That they find out what? That Matt Taibbi had lunch with Elon Musk? I mean, it's preposterous. It's overreach, and I get the creeps when I hear about it.
And if someone's emails are out there and they don't even work for the company anymore, and Elon owns the company, why can't he give those emails to a journalist?
Yeah, well, it was fantastic what he did with the Twitter files. Most of the mainstream media yawned and ignored it and acted like it was nothing. And then they always come back to, well, it's a private company, they can do what they want. But I don't have a problem with the private company. The fact is, they were on conference call with the government every morning, and they were making decisions based on what the Biden administration told them to do. And
You mean
that's
old Twitter?
Yeah, well,
The
that
old
is
Twitter.
The old Twitter.
Yeah,
That's
they're
right.
mad that it's not government property anymore.
Yeah, and I just think, I mean, Musk is a riot. This guy is hilarious.
He is.
There's
I
no
agree.
upside to what he's doing. I mean, he's spent untold billions on this company, and he's kind of hurt his own brand with the lefties who liked him for his electric vehicles, but he doesn't care. That's a guy who actually cares about free speech.
Yeah.
So I think he's fantastic.
He overpaid for the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
We're happy he overpaid. All right.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.